help you understand BMX a little bit more, we're going to talk about each of the different styles of BMX bikes. We've sort of got everything from the utility BMX bike here, just for kids to ride around the street, to bikes a little bit more designed for a particular purpose. And we covered the dirt street style, which is probably the most popular. The freestyle bikes, which are designed for a little bit more trick style riding. And then over here we've got the race BMX, which are all about competition and performance and speed and lightweight. So we'll go through these today and hopefully give you a bit more understanding of each of the different styles. First one here, which is the utility BMX bike. So in summary, it's just a BMX bike to ride around the street and just a very simple sort of bike. Not designed for any particular purpose, just for kids to get out and ride around. So we sort of see these for kids anywhere from sort of 6 right through to say 10 years of age. And once they get a little bit bigger than that, they might need to go to something a little bit stronger or a little bit more purpose built. But what makes a good one, obviously on the BMX bike they run the 20-inch diameter wheel, single speed gearing, so no complexity with the gears. They have the freewheel, hand front brakes, nice wide tyres for riding through the dirt and over sort of some rougher terrain. The bikes are pretty solid, they're built to have a little bit of strength, but again, because the kids at this age are sort of developing their skills, it doesn't have a lot of strength built into it. So it's not a bike that's designed for a lot of jumping and heavy use, just for riding around the streets with mates and having a bit of fun. So again, this is the utility sort of style BMX, which is the entry. They sort of start around $200 and work their way up from there. The dirt street BMX, which is certainly our most popular style, and that's why the reason for that is because these bikes are very, very versatile. And kids that want a BMX bike, want a bike to ride around the street, jump a few gutters, maybe go over a few jumps at the local skate park or a pile of dirt, go down to the BMX track, muck around there, and this bike really can do it all. So if you think about that utility bike, it's a very basic bike, whereas if we look at here, the number one focus of the bike is strength and durability. So to handle that type of rougher riding, the bike needs to be stronger to handle that type of riding and last. So what makes a good BMX bike or a dirt street BMX bike is a tougher frame, and you'll see on some of the key parts of this frame it's reinforced, and that obviously gives more strength, more durability to handle a little bit rougher riding. And on a really good BMX bike, the frame may change material from a normal steel to a chromoly steel. Chromoly is a much stronger type of steel, so they can build a much higher strength frame, so it's far more durable, without adding a heap of extra weight, so the bike still remains to be quite light. So riders that are riding a lot and want something that's durable will look for a chromoly frame and as many chromoly components as they can, because it's really the top level component for a BMX bike. So looking at that, other features to look for on a good dirt street BMX bike are the wheels. Obviously they cop all the punishment, riding over rough terrain. So on a standard BMX bike they have 36 spokes. On a bike like this they generally have 48, so it's got more spokes, which gives the wheel a lot stronger build. You see too on the axles and the wheels, they're generally oversized. So rather than being 10mm, these ones are 14mm, so they're a lot thicker, which stops them from bending and buckling under heavy duress. Also the crank, which obviously has all the rider's body weight on it as they're pedaling and landing, doing jumps. On the utility bike they run a one-piece crank, which is sort of heated and bent through the frame. This one's a 3-piece style, so it has an axle and 2 arms that bolt onto it. Much bigger in size, much stronger, and certainly a lot more durable. And people really do look for that 3-piece crank because it's a far more durable option for that rougher riding. And some of the bikes even go to having sealed bearings in the components, which further prolong the life of them. The next one we're going to look at here is the freestyle bike. Now, freestyle bike is very similar in essence to the dirt street BMX bike. It still runs the same diameter wheel. People are still looking for the same strength and durability features given the usage of the bike. But the difference, a dirt street bike is probably more used in street bike riding and also at dirt jumps and maybe that sort of usage. This one's more aimed at skate parks and doing a little bit more trick orientated riding. So a few key things that are slightly different about the bike. The first one you'll notice is that on the handlebars here you've got what you call a cable detangler, and that allows the rider to spin the handlebars 360 degrees without affecting the brake cable or the brakes at all. So for a lot of the tricks that involve spinning the handlebars or spinning the bike around the handlebars, you can do that with no impact on the cables or the brakes. The other one too, down on the wheels here, you can see that the bike comes with pegs, and that is because a lot of the tricks that a lot of the riders will do or try and emulate will have the pegs on them, and they might stand on them or use them to sort of hop up onto a ledge or grind down a stair rail. So an important feature for a lot of people that are buying this type of bike, and they're a good accessory for other bikes if they don't come with them. The final one we're going to cover today is the race BMX bike, which is a very specific bike with the sole purpose of BMX racing involved. So other bikes that we looked at are fairly broad in their appeal and their usage, where they can be sort of used in all different types of terrain, and depend on the customer's style, trend, colour. They might just choose one that sort of suits their type of riding, or just their colour preference. Whereas a BMX race bike is very specific and very different to the bikes we've looked at previously. So sure, the wheel diameter on this particular one is still the same, so the 20-inch wheel with the big wide tyre designed for dirt track riding. But BMX is a sport that's all about power and speed, and also getting to the finish first if you think about a running race. So the bike is designed to be much lighter. So where we've previously looked at steel or chromoly bikes, which are more durable and heavier in weight, this one goes to be an aluminium, so it's a lot lighter, and as far as the performance, the bike becomes a lot faster. So a lot of those non-essential components we looked at before that were built in for the bikes for strength are stripped out of this to again save on weight. So you don't have the heavily spoked wheels, you don't have the bigger, thicker axle, the cranks are more sort of low or slimline just to save a little bit of weight. It's still strong, still stiff, but designed to be much lighter. You don't have things like the cable detangler. You can't fit that to this type of bike, and you can't fit the peg. So everything about this bike is about lightweight performance, still strength, still durable, because obviously BMX racing does have some pretty big jumps in it, and obviously a very aggressive start, with the sprinting out of the gate. However, what people will be looking for is something that is very light, which obviously an aluminium frame is, very stiff, which obviously helps with the bike with efficiency. So you can see down here, this particular bike has quite a big chainstay, which is the part of the frame here that transmits the power to the rear wheel. And again, it's really about lightweight performance. So BMX race bikes come in a huge range of sizes, which are really specific to suit the height of the rider. And that again aids in performance, because if a young sort of child around say 6 years of age wants to get into BMX racing, to ride a big adult's bike like this is not going to allow the proper performance that child's capable of. So it's really important that the bike is sized to suit the height of the rider, and obviously as the bikes are designed for smaller kids, they're also lighter because they don't need to be as strong. As this one for an adult has a much more reinforcement in it to handle 80-90 kilos of sort of racing on it. But at the same time, not as strong for the dirt street style usage. So only on the BMX track is where you use this one. So today we covered off the BMX category and understanding the different styles of BMX bikes. So in summary, BMX is all about youth, all about kids getting out on their bike and enjoying them. So we're really excited about that, and we have a great range of BMX bikes across some of the best brands. Mongoose GT, which have been around for over 30 years and are legendary in BMX. SE, we also have Fit BMX, so we've got some great brands in our stores. The different styles, we covered off the utility BMX, which is simply that bike to ride around the streets and have a little bit of fun. We covered off the dirt street, which is built without punishment, rougher riding, some big jumps, all that sort of stuff. We covered off the freestyle bike, which is a bit more trick orientated, with the ability to spin the handlebars and the pegs and everything standard. And then we've also got the race BMX bike, which is much lighter weight, not built for as much punishment, but all about speed and performance, so about getting to that line as fast as you can. So I hope that gives you an understanding about the BMX bikes, and look forward to the next one.